Okay, I'm going to solve this divisibility problem using the division algorithms done by Euclid. So first of all, we have a question that says n is a 3-digit number, ABC, so that n is equal to 100a plus 10b plus c, and where a, b, c are integers between 0 and 9. So in other words, we are saying a, b, c are elements of 0 to 9. But a cannot be 0 because this has to remain a 3-digit. So that is very important. So let us look at what is given about n. N is divisible by 9. The sum of the integers of n is even, and n is congruent to 3 mod 11. So these facts can be summarized. So we're looking at fact 1 here. Fact 1 tells us that n is divisible by 9. So in other words, if we divide n with 9 here, so if you divide 100 with 9, you get a remainder of 1. So 100 is actually congruent to 1 under mod 9. So we can actually say n is equal to or is congruent to a plus b plus c under mod 9. That's fact number 1. And this can be summarized as a plus b plus c is equal to multiples of 9, where k is an element of the integer. That's fact number 1. Fact number 2 is saying the sum of the integers of n is even. So in other words, if we add n, we are going to have an even number. So if we add a plus b plus c, because we are using a plus b because we already know n, which is divisible by 9, can be expressed as a plus b plus c. So we are saying a, maybe a different color, plus b plus c is an even number if you add them. So they give you an even number like this, where q is also an integer. So there must be an integer. So what we understand from these two statements, it is very important. First of all, if you understand this, you can see that a and b or c, they are all less than or equal to 9. That's one thing. So a can be 9, b also less than or equal to 9, but remember a is still keeping a condition that can be 0. And at the same time, the maximum number we can get when we add the 3 integers a, b, and c should be 27. That's a fact. So if the maximum number should be 27, it means interpreting the first fact, it says a plus b plus c has to be a multiple of 9. So it means it can be 9, it can be 18, or it can be 27. Those are the 3 possibilities that we have about a plus b plus c. But at the same time, a plus b plus c has to be an even number. So looking at the fact 1 that says the maximum sum of a plus b plus c cannot exceed 27, but if it cannot exceed 27 but it has to be divisible by 9, therefore it can be 9, 18, or 27. But if a plus b plus c also have to be even, then the most probable case here is that a plus b plus c is equal to 18. That's our equation we need here. This is a very important fact. So this has been summarized by just looking at fact 1 and fact 2. When we get to fact 3, we just write it here. Fact 3, it says n is congruent to 3 under mod 11. So when we look at n originally, if I divide 100 with 11, I get a 1. So in other words, we are saying n is congruent to a. If I divide 11 with 10, 10 with 11 here, I get a minus 1, minus b plus c under mod 11. So that's what we have here. So knowing the value, the set values of a, b, and c here, it means a minus b plus c can occupy certain values. One could be the 3 itself, because we said it is congruent to, under what mod is congruent to 3, under mod is n is congruent to 3, so it can be 3. It can be minus 8. At what condition does it become minus 8? If we look at it, it is when a is 1 and b is 9, we get 1 minus 9, which is minus 8, and c is 0. That's the minimum that it can go there for it to be minus 8. Then it can be 3 plus 11, it can be 14 as well. Is it possible to get a number that is above 14? Because another number that we can get here is 25. But is 25 possible if we are taking from values of a that are from 0 to 9 and c like this? That is not going to be possible, because we can have 9 plus 9, which is 18. 18 minus 0, that's the only biggest number we can get here, to 18. So it's not possible. 25 is not possible. So 25 is not in this set. It can safely cancel it. So we now have two equations here. Let me just write them. Let me just write them in this box. We now have two secure equations, which is a plus b plus c is equal to 18, and a minus b plus c is equal to either 3 minus 8 or 14. These two equations. Now, looking at them, we can eliminate a and c here by subtracting these two equations. If I subtract a, equation 1 and equation 2, a and c can be eliminated, which means I will have 2b here. I have 2b here if I subtract them. So let me just say equation 1 minus equation 2. We get 2b. So it's best to eliminate two variables rather than trying to eliminate b and still be left with a and c. So 2b can either be equal to 18 minus 3, which is 15. We can have 18 minus 8, which is 26. We can have 18 minus 14, which is 4. So we cannot work, if b is an integer that is between 0 and 9, if I divide by 2 here, I can get either a value of b that is 2, 13, and 15 over 2. So, okay, let me just write it here. I need space here. So if we do this, if we solve for b, we're going to have either b is 15 over 2, b is 26 over 2, and b is 4 over 2. Of course, that means b is 7.5. Is b 7.5? No, because b is an integer. So this is not true. Is b 13? No, because b is in the set 0 to 9. And is b 2? Yes, so our answer for b can only be 2. That's the value of b. So using 1 now, using equation number 1, using 1, where we say a plus b plus c is equal to 18. And we know that a plus 2, where b is 2, plus c is equal to 18. This results in a plus c being equal to 16. What are the possible values that gives us 16? Means a is 8, and b, and c is also 8. It might mean also that a is 7 and c is 9. It might mean also that a is 9 and c is 7. These are the only possibilities that gives you 16. So hence n occupies, okay, make this space. Hence our value of n, it can be where a is equal to 8 and c is equal to 8 and then b is 2. In that case, we are going to have 100 times 8, then we are going to have 10 times 2, then plus 8. And this gives us 828. We can also have a case where we have n is equal to 100 times 7 plus 10 times 2, that's already 120, plus 7, that's going to be 700. I was using AC, so this is 9, so it's 29 here. We are also going to have a case where n is going to be equal to 9, so we're going to have 100, 9 plus 10, which is 2 here, and then we've got a 7 here, and we actually get the answer is 927. So these are quite interesting questions, but you need to carefully analyze them and before you start solving them. All right.